Okay, so basically I've already actually recorded this video once before, and even though I hit the record button, OBS decided not to record it. Weird, right? I don't even know, guys. But anyways, welcome to the Storm Spells tier list. God, I can't believe I'm doing this again. Um, you may have noticed I did one of these for fire a few months ago. God, this is so weird. I'm repeating the same things I've said. I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, it didn't record the previous version of this recording, so I'm going to retry it right now. But yeah, welcome to the Storm Spell tier list, everybody. Yeah, I did one of these for fire, and people recommended that I do more schools. Mostly requested was Storm, so this is the one we're gonna do today. Looking at our arsenal right here, a lot of these spells, we're actually not gonna have a lot of spells that go like real low. I feel like Storm just has a really good like spell tier list. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, let's just get started because we got a lot to go through here, and I get to go through all 32 of these spells again and place them into tiers again for you guys. But no, it's fine, guys. Honestly, I really wanted to post a video for today, and I was debating not to after I figured out that it wasn't recording, but I'm pretty sure I'm recording now. Let me just check. Yeah, we're recording. We're all good. Sorry, guys. I do need to check though. I gotta make sure it's for real this time. So anyways, let's get started with Thunder Snake, guys. The classic spell. Wow, yeah, this is really weird. I'm literally repeating what I said for each of these spells. Yep, that's gonna be weird, but it's okay because you guys won't know that I am. I'm gonna put this at C tier, guys. This spell, obviously, it's a classic, but I just feel like nobody uses it. Its damage is just so low that it's honestly just a meme at this point. But since it is a meme card, it does not go in the F tier, it goes in the C tier. Just a classic. Up next, we've got the worst storm spell in the game, Lightning Strike, F tier. Literally, hate this spell. Like, I just remember getting it for the first time and literally just removing it from my deck immediately. And I'm sure many of you guys can relate because it just takes up space. It is a waste. I've seen this spell used like maybe twice in my wizard career, guys. It is horrible. Up next, we got Lightning Bats. I'm gonna put this at C tier with Thunder Snake. Honestly, it's pretty good, but it's not great. Like, you can use it in lower level PvP. It's probably alright when it's enchanted. Might be good to finish someone off in PvP. But I guess you use it in PvE for a while. But yeah, that's all there really is for Lightning Bats. Storm Shark, I'm gonna put a little bit higher probably, just because it does pretty good damage. I mean, obviously, a lot of storm spells have really good damage and everything, but I can't remember where I put this last time. Actually, I literally just did this tier list, guys. I just recorded it. I'm trying to think. Was it in B or C tier? I'm not really sure. Actually, I think I'm gonna put it in C tier with the rest of these, just because they all kind of follow the same pattern with their flat damage, but nothing else. So they're all kind of the same spell in their own right. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Stormblade, though, this one's an interesting one. We're putting that at S tier. Obviously, it's the spell that just makes all the spells better, guys. This is the universal, best storm spell. Seriously, it's really awesome. Obviously, not a day goes by when a storm doesn't use their blade. So yeah, I don't know who wouldn't use a Stormblade anyway. I don't know, but obviously, need I explain more, guys? It's freaking Stormblade. Like, you gotta put that in S tier. Next one's gonna be Disarm. This one's kind of interesting. D tier. I'm just like I don't know. Disarm. It's not bad. Like, I'm sure there's some situations where Disarm would be really good, like such as PvP, maybe removing someone's charm. I don't really know, but it's fine. Like, it's not horrible. Horrible's F tier. There is some uses for it, but I don't see this used a lot, if at all. So Disarm. Plus, there's many storm spells that remove people's charms anyway. So why would you just want to use this one alone? Maybe you'd want some damage on top of that. But nope, it's just Disarm. So D tier for that guy. Storm Trap, I'm gonna put that in A tier. Basically, it's just a Storm Blade, except I feel like less frequently used. I don't know. It's fine. It does 5% less than Storm Blade as well. So I don't know. I guess Storm Blade it's just better. I don't know. Storm Trap just barely didn't make that S tier. Sorry, Storm Trap, but you're still very, very good and very versatile as a spell and everything. Coming in at number 9. Whatever. Number 9 here, Water Elemental. I'm gonna put this guy at B tier just because when they did their buff to him, he's actually a pretty good minion now. He's got I think almost 1,000 health and has some decent spells. They also updated his character model, so he looks really, really cool. Definitely not a horrible spell now since the buff, so I appreciate them for that. So he goes in B tier. He's not bad. I think for lower level PvP, he is decent, I guess. So he's a pretty decent spell overall. Don't use him in PvE though. He sucks for that. But PvP, not bad. Not a bad spell. Kraken, I'm gonna put in B tier as well. I know I said that these follow the flat damage pattern. I know, but I feel like Kraken, it's like you get those 2 power pips, and then with an enchant, he can do like 800 damage, you know? So to me, that's a really, really good spell. So we're gonna put Kraken there. Yeah, definitely really like Kraken for that. So yeah, that's all I can say about Kraken, because it's just flat damage, but it is a solid spell. Cleanse Charm, I think I'm gonna put this at A tier right here. Really, really useful spell for boss battles and everything, even in PvP. It's very, very useful. But yeah, like, I don't know, I see the spell used a lot. It is kind of widely used in those big boss battles. When they, I don't know, like, freaking, what's the spell called? Like, Plague, Verdulent Plague? I don't know. When they do that on you, obviously very useful. As well as weaknesses. You know, you can just use this to take all that off. So, very good spell right there. Windstorm, I'm putting that in A tier as well. I would put it in S tier, but there's a few better spells that do go in S tier. It's still very, very good. Basically applies a little bit of a weaker Storm Trap to all enemies, so that's pretty cool. So Windstorm, very good spell for that. Tempest, right here. We're definitely putting this in S tier, guys. You know, this spell obviously carries you through pretty much every world. Not a day goes by, I think, when a Tempest isn't casted by a Storm. I mean, it's very, very good, especially with that enchant. And if you're at full pips, maybe some blades, it does mass. It's a really, really good spell to all enemies too, which is awesome. And it's only a little bit weaker than Judgment, so that's a plus. Wild Bolt, this spell is really interesting. I'm putting it at B tier. Just because it can sometimes be reliable and obviously used to troll people a lot, you know. I mean, a lot of people rock their spam Wild Bolt decks, and the videos are pretty hilarious to watch. So we put that right there, I think, for that. Insane Bolt, though, we'll talk about that. Obviously, very interesting spell. But Wild Bolt, sometimes reliable, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you can be really good, sometimes you're not. So, Dark Wind, guys. Dark Wind, it goes at B tier as well. Not as good as the Blades and Traps, but still a solid spell. Still a solid bubble. I think bubbles are just pretty balanced in this game and everything. But it can sometimes turn the tide of PvP in your favor, especially if you get that bubble up and he doesn't have a bubble to counter it. It gives you a huge advantage. So B tier for that guy. He's not too bad. Supercharge, S tier. I mean, this is literally just the Storm backdraft. Yeah, for Storm. Just overall, everyone knows Backdraft is a super awesome spell. Supercharge literally does the same thing, except it's a blade. Like, Supercharge, very good spell. Yeah, just basically an extreme Storm Blade. It's very, very good. Yeah, really like Supercharge. Triton. This one also goes in S tier, I'm thinking. Just the sheer value of damage. Like, look at that. 6 pips. It does 795 through 875. Like, come on, guys. That is a good spell. Like, just that flat damage is insane. With that enchant, it probably does up to 1,000 just for 6 pips. Not even a Shadow Pip required. Like, very good spell there. Really, really like Triton. Stormzilla, he's definitely a little bit worse, I think, than Triton. Definitely not as widely used. I think he's a B tier spell, to be completely honest. Like, he's fine, but he's not, like, crazy, you know? I don't know. Maybe he's C tier. Actually, I think I'm gonna move him down to C tier, because I feel like I'd just rather use Kraken than a Stormzilla, you know? It's just, like, Kraken is just more convenient, I feel like, you know, than Stormzilla. I feel like most people would prefer that. I mean, like, seriously, it's literally just Stormzilla. Like, that's it, you know? But I feel like, I don't know, Kraken's flat damage for the pip cost is a little bit better. Stormlord, we're putting that at S tier. Obviously, just really, really used, you know, in PvP and PvE with that stun. That stun is very useful. Does pretty decent damage. It's a good hit-all spell, especially when it's enchanted. So, Stormlord, you're very solid. Storms use you every single day. You're very good. Number 19, we have Insane Bolt. Yeah, I think this is like a D tier spell. Just because, just because, like, I feel like it kills you more than it, like, does damage to the enemy. I don't know, like, just doesn't seem that reliable at all. Obviously, it's not reliable. It's kind of a meme spell, but it's not as good of a meme as Wild Bolt. So it's just kind of, it's kind of bad, but, like, it can sometimes save you if you're lucky. I don't know, D tier for that guy. Leviathan, I'm putting that at A tier. Obviously really good flat damage for the pip cost, and then it removes 2 positive charms, so that's really good as well. Not much to say on that. Obviously you get the you know, positive charms removed. Very good for PvP. Also used in PvE. I use this sometimes on my storm in PvE. It's pretty good. It's a pretty reliable spell with some good effects. Sirens, obviously, we gotta put that at S. I mean, like, the damage is good. It removes 2 charms from every enemy, and it's minus 50% to all. Like, that's just so good. I feel like this is like the Storm's lore master hit all in a way. Does that make sense? I don't really know. It's very good. It's a very good spell. Storms use this once again all the time. Like, I feel like Storms use all these spells all the time, except for maybe Triton at higher levels, just because there's better alternatives. But I think Triton's still very good for a lot of levels. But Sirens is obviously up there. Everyone knows Sirens is a beast of a spell. Next we got Enfeeble, putting that at A tier. Enfeeble's really good because obviously it removes all the charms from your enemy. Very useful in PvP. Maybe sometimes useful in PvE, especially if you have it on a pet. May cast Enfeeble. Really good for PvP there. So obviously just a really solid spell overall, especially if they're mass stacking blades and you can just enfeeble them, and then they're just like, man, I don't know, guys, but I think Enfeeble is really good. Healing Current, some of you may not agree with me, but I'm putting that at A tier as well, just because basically my philosophy for this is it's a storm spell, so storms like have max crit a lot. So if you're storm with max crit, and if you cast this spell, right, obviously you can enchant it with a healing with like Primordial, or like the other one, Radical, is that what it's called? I don't know. But yeah, you enchant it, maybe, and then you critical on it, maybe hit that 1,000 or the 400. You're going to be doing mass healing to yourself or another person. I really like Healing Current for its pip cost, especially if you hit that 1,000. It's an amazing spell. It really is. Like, I don't know. Just like, I don't know. Like, it's really likely that you're going to crit on this if you're a Storm, so I think it's a really good heal. For Storm, King Artorias, you know, he's pretty good. Really good damage for the pip cost. Putting him up there just for that Pierce Blade. That Accuracy Blade's meh, but that Pierce Blade's good. Obviously the 1,100. For 8 pips, very good spell, especially if you enchant it. Yeah, it definitely goes in A tier. It's really good. Yeah, nothing to say about King Art much, but I don't know. I remember when we all got the King Art spell. That was actually really cool. That was a really cool time in the game. I don't know why I'm speaking. Okay. Storm Owl, I'm going to put this at B tier, just because the sheer amount of damage moves it up to B tier. But it's 10 pips, and I just don't see many people using it very often. But yeah. I can already tell this list is definitely a bit nicer than the fire spell tier list, I think. Like, there's a lot of spells, like, at the top. But yeah. And these are also, there's some really good ones in here. Speaking of really good ones, number 7, Glowbug Squall. S tier. I mean, literally, like, when this spell is casted on you, like, you feel just a sense of dread, because you know it's about to do mass, and, like, all your blades are going to be gone, you know? And if someone on your team casts this, you're like, oh yeah, he's about to destroy. Like, Glowbugs is... Oh, man, just like, look at that damage for the 5 pips, and removes all charms. Like, it's insane. Like, this spell is insane. I'd argue it's broken, honestly. Please nerf KI, but yeah, really good spell there. 28, Rusalka's Wrath. I'm gonna put this at B tier, just because it's like, yeah, it has good damage. Actually, is it A tier? I don't know. Actually, Rusalka's Wrath's interesting, because it's like, if you get that minus 30 charm on yourself, like, that's really bad, obviously, for you. But you need that Shadow Pip to cast it. But it's not a hit-all spell, so I think I'm going to keep it at B tier. But its sheer amount of damage is really good for 6 pips and 1 Shadow Pip. And if you do get that plus 30%, it's really nice. So, Rusalka's Wrath, you're at B tier, just because that risk factor. Next up, we have Iron Sultan. I'm going to put this guy at A tier, I think, because, like, he's got a really low pip cost. Obviously not a huge fan. Sorry, guys. Obviously not a huge fan of, like, the divided damage spells. Like, they're fine or whatever. I don't know, guys. But I think he's A tier. Just his sheer damage and the pip cost. Like, come on, guys. It's very good. He's a very good spell. Good job, Iron Sultan. Scion of Storm, I think, goes in A tier. It's not quite the S tier, but it is very good, and here's why. So basically, obviously, it does pretty good damage flat out, but if the enemy has no charms, it does more than 2,500 damage to the enemy. For 11 pips, it's still pretty costly, but I mean, if it does like mass, it's like definitely the best Scion, I think, out of all of them. It seriously does mass if you get it right. So I don't know, especially Enchanted. This guy's really good. So Scion of Storm, everybody. Catalan, I think, goes in B tier. He's very, very good. His damage is very good. That minus 25 is very good. Overall, just a really solid lore spell. I know not many people use it. I feel just like it's 5 pip cost. Might be a little bit much for people, but if it was 4 pips, I feel like it'd be a broken spell, like a really broken spell. So I don't think they have a choice, except to keep it at 5. But it's not a very popular spell, but I like it. I think it's pretty solid. Catch of the Day, I'm gonna put in A tier as well, just because it's like a mini Leviathan in a way. You know, it does decent damage and removes 2 positives. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think Catch of the Day is a really good spell. Yeah, really just like a mini Leviathan. So Leviathan's really good, and obviously for a lower pip cost, Catch of the Day is very, very good. Queen Calypso, we're putting that at A tier. The final spell that makes our Storm tier list, guys. Here it is. Maybe you guys agree with it, maybe you guys don't. Queen Calypso, obviously kind of a weird spell with that plus 20, like before the spell even casts. It's a little bit weird. But with an enchant, this spell can do like a really, really good amount of damage, for sure. It is kind of broken sometimes, I guess, in PvP. Especially like with like blades and everything. Obviously very, very good spell. Yeah, in that regard. Not too much used in PvE, but it's still a very good spell. So anyways, that is the Storm tier list, guys. Let's just make sure I'm still recording. Great. Alright. So yeah, that's good. That's good that I'm still recording this. Wow, that was a pain to do. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, though. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. You know what made this especially annoying is like you gotta get each individual like picture of the spell to put on the tier list. Like I had to make this myself, guys. It was extremely annoying. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I'll leave a link to the fire spells tier list in the description, man. Oh man, I can't believe I had to do this whole thing again. But yeah, yeah, maybe leave a like if, you know, to show me some support for my struggles, guys. But hopefully you all enjoyed. Have a good Sunday, guys. For me, it's the last day of Thanksgiving break, so that's kind of a rip, guys. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. This is where I'm gonna stop the recording and make sure that I stop the recording because, yeah, goodbye, guys.